saw the big black pickup truck crossing the line, heading towards us.
New details tonight in a crash that killed a bicyclist here in Georgetown, and hear from an eyewitness who was nearly hit himself.
We're tracking developments tonight in the case of a missing toddler out of western Kentucky.
And I understand the river conditions and that type of thing, but my son's life is important. I want him found.
A central Kentucky mother says she is not giving up hope. The search continues for a missing man who police say fell off a jet ski into the Kentucky River.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for watching. He was on mile 99 of a 100-mile ride when he was hit and killed. Tonight we've learned some new disturbing details about a deadly crash involving a Lexington cyclist in Scott County. Police say that Mark Hinkle was participating in the Horsey 100 over the weekend when a suspected drunk driver hit him. And tonight we're hearing from a man who saw the whole thing happen. He says the driver missed him and his wife by inches. Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
For some, this spot will forever hold sad memories.
These things shouldn't be forgotten, even though you want to.
Glenn Worrell and his wife came from Maryland for the Horsey 100. They were riding on their tandem bicycle here along Lemons Mill Road, not far from another rider, Mark Hinkle.
I saw the big black pickup truck crossing the line, heading towards us.
Worrell says he and his wife were able to steer out of the way, but the truck did hit Hinkle.
She heard the sound of the collision, described it as a thwack, and thought to herself that we're next, and saw that the truck missed us by inches. When
police caught up with Odilon Paz Salvador, according to an arrest citation, investigators found a hole in the windshield and Hinkle on his truck bed cover. Investigators say they also found a cold beer in the cup holder, and that Paz Salvador told them he drank 6 beers and smoked marijuana before the crash. Worrell says he and his wife decided not to ride the Horsey 100 again on Sunday after they realized the path would take them right through here, the site of the crash, twice.
And that was enough to, not really want to be there.
Just a few short miles from the end of their ride that day, Worrell says the crash is a tragic reminder just how fragile life can be. In Georgetown, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Paz Salvador is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Also, funeral arrangements have been set for Mark Hinkle. Visitation is 4 to 9 p.m. Wednesday at Millward Funeral Home off of Man o' War Boulevard on Trent Boulevard. A funeral mass is scheduled for Thursday at 10:30 at Cathedral of Christ the King. We're tracking a developing story out of western Kentucky tonight. The search for a missing toddler has come to a tragic end. Last week, 2-week-old Lainey Wallace went missing, and state police believe that her mother's boyfriend was responsible for her disappearance. Now, that man is in jail. Jordan Valine joins us at the live desk to explain the latest. Jordan?
Sam, that's right. According to state police, 25-year-old Anthony Barber lived with the child's mother and her daughter in his Barron County home. Barber and the child had been missing for more than a week, but today, police found the child's body in a well on his property. For more than a week, the community wondered where 2-year-old Lainey Wallace went, and was her mother's boyfriend, Anthony Barber, responsible for her disappearance.
Well, that's all that people had on their minds the last few days.
The two went missing last week near Barber's home, but on Monday, troopers say Barber resurfaced in a home that wasn't his.
She come down to the little country store, turned around and went back home, and Mr. Barber was in her house.
Casey Harvey says it was his cousin whose house Barber went into.
He had a rifle at that time, and he asked her to get in the truck and drive her to Glasgow. So she started down the road.
Harvey says he then watched everything unfold when troopers pulled the two over for a seatbelt violation.
Just happened to look out the window, and the Kentucky State Police, 2 gentlemen jumped out, run over to the truck, opened the door, and jerked the guy out, and they wrestled him to the ground and handcuffed him.
Barber was arrested and later taken to the scene of the search for Lainey's body. Troopers say the 2-year-old's body was found in a well, not far from where she was first reported missing. Police say the property where the 2-year-old's body was found belongs to the Barber family. At the live desk, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. Lainey Wallace's body will be taken to Louisville for an autopsy. The rain stayed away for most of the Memorial Day weekend, but some showers and thunderstorms are creeping their way right back into the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking the storms on the First Alert Defender. I guess I shouldn't say creep their way back in because we've been waiting for the rain, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been a little dry over the past couple of weeks, Sam, after a very wet start to spring. March and April among the wettest on record. May, not so much. We've kind of turned the faucet off, though starting to see a little change out there. Some folks getting in on some rains earlier in the day. We'll look at Live First Alert Defender in rainfall mode here to show you areas that picked up some drops. And again, not a whole lot out there today, but heavier rains farther to the west. We had better than 1 inch west of 65. Those showers and storms, though, creeping into central Kentucky, losing a little bit of steam, anywhere from barely dampening the ground to upwards of a couple of pockets of 1/4 of an inch or so. But again, not a whole heck of a lot left over on Live First Alert Defender late this evening. If you had a little rain outside your house early in the day, chances are we're going to fire up a little fog as we go through the overnight. Still quite a bit of cloud cover out there. Look at this monster line of showers and storms from the Ozarks back into Texas, where they've been pounded by severe weather of late. This is where the system that's going to work its way toward the east into the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley. That'll give us at least a slight risk for some strong and severe storms as we go into your Tuesday. Out the door tomorrow morning with temperatures into the upper 60s. We'll hit the 80-degree mark in some areas around lunchtime. Then, Sam, tomorrow afternoon, temperatures come back a little bit as showers and storms increase. When I come back in a few minutes, I'm going to show you why tomorrow's severe weather threat is conditional. But conditional on what? The hour-by-hour forecast explains all that just ahead.
Chris, thank you. Search crews from 10 agencies have temporarily called off their search for a missing jet skier in Mercer County. Crews were out near Brooklyn Bridge at the Palisades off US 68 all day looking for Mike McCarty. Police say he was riding a jet ski and went missing about 6:30 last night. Crews are hoping that water conditions will change and want to give their search dogs time to rest before going back out on the river. But McCarty's mother says she is not ready to give up hope.
River conditions and that type of thing, but my son's life is important. I want him found. I want to be able to do what we need to do.
Search crews hope to be back out there tomorrow. They plan to take a closer look at water conditions then. It's been 2 years since a Central Kentucky police officer died in the line of duty. Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis was ambushed when he stopped to pick up some debris on the Bluegrass Parkway in May of 2013. No arrests have been made in that case. Tonight, friends and family lit an 8-mile path with blue glow sticks, starting from the place where he was killed and ending at his final resting place. Memorial Day is about honoring those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and today the Kentucky National Guard dedicated a new memorial that pays tribute to more than 230 men and women who have died in the line of duty. The memorial is at the entrance of the Boone National Guard Center. The site is surrounded by soil from all 120 Kentucky counties. Nearly $1.5 million was raised to build it. All the money came from private donations and corporate grants.
I think this recognizes the real heroes that live among us, and this is a good way to recognize it and to stop and to take a moment and appreciate your freedoms because of the sacrifice of these heroes.
Right now there are 233 names on that memorial, but a 234th name will soon be added. Just last week, Sergeant Jonathan Rourke died in a crash on Interstate 75 in Rockcastle County while he was driving home from work. Hundreds of people honored fallen heroes at the Lexington National Cemetery. One woman says Memorial Day, though, is about more than honoring fallen soldiers. It's about learning who each person was and remembering their stories.
This is someone 35 years old, Joshua Michael, being remembered today. And, you know, I can't even see when he died, but it doesn't matter. Someone's remembering him one way or another.
Laura Lawler says because of all the rich history she has discovered in the Lexington Cemetery, she's working on writing a book.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Tornado watches were issued tonight for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. In Hays County, Texas, 12 people still missing after floodwaters swept up a vacation home. CBS's Omar Villafranca reports now from Wimberley, Texas.
Drone footage shows what was left after the Blanco River in Hays County, Texas, rose 26 feet in an hour this weekend. More than 1,000 homes were damaged and several ripped from their foundations, including one with 12 members of 2 families still inside. Rick Brushaber helped shelter some of his neighbors who were in danger.
You could hear the house move off the foundation, and Gordon said, "Here comes my house." And within a matter of minutes, his house floated by.
Rain started falling again Monday, raising concerns there could be more flooding.
Obviously, this rain and weather is starting to change gears for us a little bit. We don't know what to expect out of that, but we're ready.
The state's governor toured the damage and compared the wave of water to a tsunami.
You cannot candy coat it. It's absolutely massive.
In Amarillo, a 3-year-old boy was killed Sunday when floodwaters flipped a vehicle and he was trapped inside. And in DeSoto, near Dallas, a 14-year-old boy and his dog apparently drowned in a storm drain.
It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking.
Elsewhere in the state, there were successful rescues, including this kayaker in Austin who was pulled to safety. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Wimberley, Texas.
At least 5 people were killed this weekend by the floods in Texas and Oklahoma. Crews in southern Kentucky spent today cleaning up graffiti. Police say 2 men vandalized multiple buildings at the Corbin Rotary Park and football field. Surveillance video caught them in the act. Those 2 people have since been found and charged, but leaders of a Little League program were frustrated with the damage and vulgarity of some of the messages on the walls.
And if this would have happened last night, then we would have had 150 kids show up this morning to a lot of profanity and vulgarness. So we're glad that that we were able to get most of it cleaned up.
Police have charged the suspect with 3 counts of criminal mischief each. A 9-year-old from central Kentucky kicking off his second music career, and what better way to do it than following the footsteps of the king of rock and roll. Our partners at the Herald Leader sat down with Jonathan Rader from Wilmore. He first appeared on the Lexington bluegrass music scene back in 2008 when he was only 3. But after he saw an Elvis Presley impersonator last year, everything changed. So now he's known as Little E. He can belt out some of the King's greatest hits and even has the same onstage moves that drove Elvis fans crazy.
I just started loving the style of music that he did. Then when we got back from Nashville, I just got on my iPad and started searching Elvis on the internet and just getting to know more about him. So when you get home tonight, this is what I want you to do. I want you to sing the song to your little dog, and the song goes something like this. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Rockin' all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend.
That is great. Rader recorded an Elvis CD in Nashville with professional musicians. That is something else.